Hey everybody, I'm going to start putting some things other than music on this page, mainly because, as some of you know, our family is in California right now, and so we're on the road a bit, traveling between places. We started doing the RV thing back in November to make it out here, and we're not living in an RV, but my wife is a travel nurse. And so we're out here, and she's working at a hospital in Concord, California, which is in the Bay Area. Things keep happening while we are kind of having this adventure that to me are kind of interesting, and I want to share them with people, but I don't want to clutter up my main feed. Really, the Facebook artist page that I have here on Facebook started out as an extension of my website, which was called DaveJohnsonStuff.com. I always seem to have a couple of different balls in the air, whether it's working on a book or transplant advocacy, donor advocacy stuff. There's music stuff, there's things with the family. So I think I'm going to start putting that stuff here on this artist page. I figured this morning is as good a place to start as any. So you can see behind me, this is the house that we stayed in last night. Myself, Christy, and our youngest, Brennan, stayed here last night. This is in Guernersville, California, which is about 2 hours north of Napa, where we actually moved this weekend. So if you're following this, Christy works in the Bay Area in Concord, and we lived just 5 minutes from the hospital as of last week. We moved over the weekend to Napa, which is about 50 minutes from that hospital to the north. Last night, we spent the night here in Guernersville, California. I'm going to have to explain how that happened, but this house is sitting kind of off a little country road here next to a little community church. This is a very small community that we're in. A little creek running down through here. Richard spent the night with our dog Stitch back in Napa because people are working on some things at the house there, which is a whole story unto itself. But I wanted to show everybody this house because I've never stayed in homes this old. The house that we lived in when we were in Pennsylvania for 7 years was built in 1920, and I thought, wow, this is an old house. This house was built in 1890. The one that we're staying in Napa, I think is a little bit older than that. I think it's 1870. I'd have to look again. But this was built in 1890, and we spent just last night here, mainly so that I could be out of the way of people who are doing some work in the house, the Airbnb that we just moved into over the weekend. So I'm going to climb the stairs, and even though my heart is healthy, I'm out of shape, and so I'm going to get out of breath. But I just want to take you on a little tour through this thing because it's beautiful. So here's the. I had to catch my breath for a second. Here's the this big wraparound porch, and we sat out here last night and ate some really good Italian food from a little local place. It's in wine country. The wine's expensive. Food is very expensive. And you can see through here, this is going to lead back into the kitchen, which I'll show you in a second. And there's a fenced-in spot for the dog. There's a little breakfast nook. We sat there late last night and played some games. Another road over there in the distance that goes up to another property that's even further off the road. But the porch is massive. So we sat in the porch swing for a while and, just relaxed. But I'm just going to walk around this so you kind of get the scope of how large this wraparound porch is, this whole deck out here. And we spent most of the afternoon. I went and got some sandwiches at a little place up the road. And I think the sprinklers are on back here now, it sounds like. As you can see, there's a little guest house up there and everything you need out here, a little barbecue pit, and the little hobbit house up there is actually a sauna, believe it or not. A little sauna there. We did not use that, but we did get in this hot tub and spent most of the afternoon out here just relaxing. We definitely needed it after the weekend that we had with the move-in, which again, I'll talk more about in another video.